guys, what's up? This is Usman Gujar Official, and today I'll be doing my first science video. Today we'll be talking about neurons. So basically, neurons help you, your ability to perceive your surroundings, to hear, smell, and see depends on your neurons. So does remembering things depend on your nervous system. And your perceptions also play an important role in your nervous system, such as if your house is on fire, your perceptions may say to you, oh no, this house is on fire. So basically your ability to act on that information depends on your nervous system. And so along with allowing you to consciously process that threat, your nervous system also triggers these involuntary responses, such as increase in heart rate and blood flow in your muscles. And the intention of these involuntary responses is to help you cope with the danger. Now, all of these processes they depend on the interconnected cells that make up your nervous system. Just like the heart, lungs, and the stomach, neurons are made up of specialized cells. Now, these specialized cells include these specialized cells include neurons. And so basically, neurons are the basic functional unit of the nervous system, and they kind of generate these electrical signals called action potentials, which allows it to transmit information over longer distances. And so basically, like these projections called axons help to transmit electrical and chemical signals to and from the brain. And like the nervous system can also do this via root-like extensions known as dendrites. Fun fact, the human brain consists of about 100 billion nerve cells. Now, nerve cells cannot regenerate or reproduce. As a result, once they die, they can't be replaced. We will be moving on to the structures and functions of a nerve cell and see how they work. So, right here we have number one, the cell body, also known as aka the soma. Now, the soma is the part of the neuron that contains the nucleus, and it's where incoming signals are basically supposed to be integrated. Now we'll be moving on to the nucleus. Now, the nucleus of a neuron is an oval-shaped membrane-bound structure found in the soma. It contains the nucleolus and chromosomes necessary for the coded production of proteins within the neuron cell. So we'll be moving on to number 3, also known as dendrites. Now, dendrites are these long root-like extensions. And so basically, they're the segments of the neuron that receive stimulation in order for the cell to become active. And they also conduct electrical messages to the neuron cell body in order for the cell to thrive and properly function. Number 4, we'll be moving on to the axon, which is this chain-like, also known as a fiber. And it kind of looks like a bracelet in my opinion. And the axon conducts electrical impulses away from the neuron cell body or soma. And axons are the primary transmission lines of the nervous system. So they keep on transmitting information back and forth. And so we'll be looking at number 5, which is known as the myelin sheath. Now, the myelin sheath is located like right here, and it's an insulating layer that forms around nerves, including those in the brain and spinal cord. It is made up of protein and fatty substances, and this insulating layer allows electrical impulses to transmit quickly and efficiently among nerve cells. We'll be moving on to number 6, also known as Schwann cells. So, Schwann cells are any of the cells in the peripheral nervous system that produce the myelin sheath around neuronal axons, and they're known for their roles in supporting nerve regeneration. Now we'll be moving on to number 7, node of Ranvier. So the nodes of Ranvier. So basically what they do, they're the spaces between the myelin coating on the neuron's axon. And so there must be breaks in the myelin sheath to conduct electricity in neurons. And at the nodes of Ranvier, electricity can be conducted within the cell's environment, and the electrical signal will be propagated down the axon. So now we'll be moving on to number 8, known as the Axon Terminal. Now the Axon Terminal is the very end of a branch of a nerve's axon. It's at the very end. And it's a long, slender fiber that conducts electrical signals to, the axon conducts electrical signals to a nerve synapse. And then that signal moves across the synapse to another axon. And the axon terminals are specialized to release the neurotransmitters of the presynaptic cell. And so that's that. We'll be moving on to number 9, known as neurotransmitters. So now, what these neurotransmitters do is that, essentially they're a chemical substance that is released from the nerve cell and then transmits an impulse from a nerve cell to its target. A target can be another nerve, muscle, organ, or tissue. So the neurotransmitter is basically working as a messenger. They're produced in the cell body of the neuron and then transported to the axon terminal. They are mainly stored in vesicles. Now moving on to the final part of the neuron cell, which is the synapse. So the synapses are junctions between neurons in the nervous system. And so why they're important is because they make sure that the flow of impulses is in one direction only. So that's that for the structure of a neuron and its functions. Now we'll be moving on to a class handout about nerve cell communication. Now we'll be reading this section. Biology brief, neurons. Your nervous system is made up of nerve cells called neurons. Each nerve cell has a large cell body that carries out most of the life activities of the neuron. Inside the cell body is a nucleus which controls the life activities of the neuron. Attached to the cell body are short receiving branches called dendrites that receive chemical signals. Receptor proteins on the cell membranes of dendrites can attach to chemical signal molecules. Also attached to the cell body is a long conducting branch called an axon. The axon conducts electrical signals called impulses over long distances. The axon is covered by myelin sheath, which acts as an insulated covering and speeds up impulse conduction. The axon ends in short-standing branches called terminal branches that send messages to other neurons. Knobs on the ends of the terminal branches contain vesicles, small sacs that store and release chemical messenger molecules called neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters can fit into the receptor proteins on another neuron. Neurons do not touch each other. They are separated by a small gap called a synapse. Now that we have read the section biology brief neurons, we will be circling the names of the structures and parts of the neuron. Well, the structures include the cell body, circle, cell body, nucleus, dendrites, axon, myelin sheath, terminal branches, and neurotransmitters, as you can see here. And now, for the functions of the parts of a nerve cell, we will be underlining the information in the reading that indicates functions of each part of a neuron. So for cell body, you would underline carries on most of the life activities of the neuron. For a nucleus, we would underline controls the life activities of the neuron. Dendrites would be to receive chemical signals, and an axon essentially conducts electrical signals called impulses over long distances. The myelin sheath acts as an insulated covering and speeds up impulse conduction. And terminal branches send messages to other neurons. And neurotransmitters store and release chemical messenger molecules. And neurotransmitters fit into the receptor proteins on another neuron. And a small gap called the synapse, as you can see here from this underlined definitions. And this wraps up the part about the handout, and this also wraps up my video. So this was it for neurons. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this taught you something about the structure, anatomy of a neuron, its functions, and its parts. And so I hope you subscribe to this channel, like, comment, share, or put your thoughts down in the comment section below. Make sure to tell that smash that bell icon for more notifications to always get notified about my next video. And that wraps up this video. Bye.